friends. I am creating this video in my office today because I know that we're going to be doing a lot of work in our own offices, whether that is at your desk at school or whether that's your own make-do office at your house. And because we are separated, we're going to be doing a lot of conversations that take place online. And when you communicate online, it's very important that you remember to have an appropriate tone for the circumstances and that you remember your audience. Because sometimes when you can't see people's faces, it's easy to forget who you're talking to. Let me give you a scenario. You know it takes a lot of money to run a library. And I have all these great books, but let's say I just need a few extra things in order to be able to check them out to you efficiently. So I'm going to ask a friend of mine if they might lend me some money to purchase things. I might write a text like, "Hey girl, I got a bunch of junk to buy for the library, but I'm kind of tight on cash right now. Do you think you can lend me some?" And send it. Now, what do you think my friend might say to that text? Yeah, they're my friends. They know who I am. I don't have to defend myself to them so much. But let's say I wanted to ask our principal if they would purchase the things. So I send an email off to Miss Trine saying, "Hey girl, I got to buy a bunch of junk for the library, but I'm tight on cash. Do you think you could lend me some?" What do you think she's going to say to that email? Now, what if I wrote my email like this? "Dear Miss Trine, there are a number of things that I need in order to run an effective library. However, at this time, I simply don't have the funds in my account. I really do want to get the books in the hands of students and foster literacy in our schools. Do you think it possible that the school can help out by purchasing these materials?" What do you think she'll say to that message? She is probably going to be more agreeable to the second message because my tone, that's the attitude that I approached the subject with, was more professional, and the language I chose kept my audience in mind, the person I was writing to. So as you start chatting and working together on documents, it's important that you remember tone and audience as well, and not forget that you're not just texting with your friends. So I have some tips to help you stay out of trouble when you're chatting in class. Number 1, stick to the topic. You have a task at hand, don't veer from that task. If you stick to the topic, you're less likely to wander into areas of conversation that are going to lead you to get in trouble. Number 2, you're going to avoid slang, avoid emojis, and never ever use offensive language or profanity. Remember, the point of having an academic discussion is to share ideas. And when you write in a style that makes it hard for your ideas to be understood, or worse, is very aggressive, like you're trying to start a fight or an argument, you just no longer are participating in the discussion. In fact, you're kind of stopping the discussion from happening. So no profanity, no offensive terms, and limit slang and emojis except when absolutely necessary. Number 3, sarcasm doesn't come through on chat. I know you like to be funny sometimes, but make sure that your joke can be understood right there on the text. I really wish they would invent a sarcasm text soon because I'd be using it all the time. But right now, what you might think is a joke is going to come across as an insult. So be very careful and avoid sarcasm. Number 4, do not share your social media information. I know you want to be the next influencer and have everybody follow your Instagram, but this is not the place to do it. In fact, you really need to be wary about sharing that information publicly at all. You never know who's out there. But especially in a class environment, because remember rule 1, you're way off topic, and B, you might be encouraging people that you don't want to follow you. And number 5, and probably the most important rule, is think about what you want to say before you hit send. The beauty about communicating digitally is you get to stop, and before you hit enter, reread what you wrote. Is that what you meant to say? Are you on topic? Do you need to change some of your words because you've used too much slang? Does it sound like an answer that you would give your teacher? Do you think someone might be offended by it? Do you sure your joke's going to be funny? And if you know that this is the message that you want to craft, then and only then you can press send. Now, I know that you are going to enjoy talking online. There are so many neat features in Zoom, and I have used Google for years. And I personally can't wait to start talking to some of you online. But always remember the task you have at hand. Remember the tone you want to use for the environment, which is a classroom environment. And always remember the people you are talking to, which is going to include your teacher. Have a great day, Statesman.